In today's episode of my podcast story, we have Sue Pat, the visionary founder of newbeginning.com and the host of the inspiring podcast New Beginning, Inspiration for You. Sue is dedicated to empowering solopreneurs to transform their challenges into opportunities, drawing from her own remarkable journey of overcoming obstacles in the world of online business. With a wealth of experience, she has turned her own struggles into a thriving platform that offers invaluable resources, from master resale rights e-courses to done-for-you services, all designed to help others achieve their entrepreneurial dreams. Sue's unique perspective and passion for community support make her story not only compelling, but also a beacon of hope for those navigating the complexities of solopreneurship. She's here to share her inspiring journey on how she built her show from the ground up and the impact she's making in the lives of aspiring entrepreneurs everywhere. Tell us your name and the name of your podcast and what your podcast is about.
Yeah, my name is Sue Pats, and name of my podcast is New Beginning Inspiration for You. I have a main parent company, New Beginning, and all other basically sub companies are under that. So I have a New Beginning Success Collaboration. Then, so this is New Beginning Inspiration for You. It is designed to basically inspire solopreneur, entrepreneurs, small business owners, so that they can stay in the business, they can persist, and they can achieve the success they are always looking for. So, because most solopreneurs quit their business before launching their first product, and many entrepreneurs don't see second year in their business. Those who see second year, many of them don't see fifth year in the business. So, I want to reverse that trend. I want solopreneurs to be profitable as early as possible, and that's what this podcast started. And I have a story actually for my podcast. Yeah, since you are saying it is a podcast story, so let me tell you the story.
Okay.
I was bedridden, and I couldn't move, and I recovered miraculously. And when I recovered, it was really like a bonus life for me. And my bonus life, I wanted to devote it for the solopreneur success. So I started blogging because I thought, if I blog, I will give the free access, free resources to solopreneurs. And my blog started getting lots of traction. And then people started saying, we love your blogs, we don't have time to read. So why don't you start podcast? Why don't you start YouTube channel? And that was actually last thing in my mind, because English is my third language. I was not looking to do anything like a podcast and talk and all, but just because people started asking for it, then I started podcast. And people take long time to launch podcast. I started podcast in my one day. I just decided, okay, I'll start podcast, and I started podcasting, and I have been doing ever since. For 3 years, almost every day I released an episode, and it is fun.
Wow. So your podcast is 3 years now. Congratulations. When are we doing the birthday for your podcast?
Yeah, whenever you can. Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Okay. When you started your podcast, did you have any goal in mind for the podcast?
I just had a goal in mind to serve my audience. My audience didn't have time to read my blogs, and they wanted me to listen on my podcast. That's it. Means I didn't think of anything like monetization or any of those things and all. And means I still don't do ads and all those things, because my still goal is to inspire solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and small business owners, and I just want to help them whichever possible way to them. Yeah.
You've been doing your podcast for 2 years now. Is it audio only or video and audio?
Oh, video and audio both.
Has it always been like that, or it's been something you've adapted?
Yeah, I do video and audio both means, and I don't find any problem there. Yeah.
How often do you publish?
Right now I'm publishing almost one episode every day.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, but now I have a team, and my team does a lot of work. Means I just do podcasting, they do the publishing, editing, and publishing. So it is possible. I have guest on my podcast. I have solo episodes. I have everything. So, and many people have many shows. Like you have multiple shows. I have only one show. I haven't started with the second show yet. So right now I just have one show.
Wow, you have a team. Did you always have a theme, or has that been something that you kind of like um added as the podcast grew and your business grew?
Yeah, means podcast is really good because I get really quality people to meet. Yeah. So I really means basically the leads which you get to meet on Instagram and Facebook and all, they may not be that quality. I'm not putting those media downs because they are also helpful in some other way and all. But the podcast leads are very high quality leads.
Yeah, yeah. So the question I want to ask now is, when you started, did you start by yourself or did you have a team then?
My team, I just hired like 1.5 years back. Initially, I was doing everything on my own.
Okay, when you were doing it all on your own, was it still every day or it was a different publishing schedule?
Yeah, still it was. Yeah, it was still almost every day because I didn't edit much because there is a demand even for raw footage. Means they really don't expect you to edit a lot and all. And I know many people who are very well accomplished in podcasting world. They don't edit much.
Yeah. You talked about starting your podcast all in one day. I'd love for you to like walk us through how it felt, because for a lot of persons they use maybe 8 months to think about starting a podcast before they start.
Yeah, people think too much actually. They say, oh, what is the plan, what is the strategy? And after I started podcast, actually somebody approached me and they said, we can set up your podcasting site and everything for $5,000 and all. So I said, see, I have already said, why don't you take a look and just see whether I need your services? And he looked at everything, my site and my program and everything. He said, oh, you are doing everything already. You don't need my services. And he said, uh, yeah, that was really funny. He said that he had a podcast launch service, and he said, oh, you already have everything. You don't need my services. You're
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you switched to having a team now for 1.5 year ago. Before that, can you share with us some of the kind of like the embarrassing technical fails you've had regarding your podcast? Have you ever forgotten to edit to record an episode and or something like that?
Yeah, means my episodes were almost all recording and then publishing, and I did have a live, and or if I do live on YouTube, then basically still I would take that episode and then I will edit and I will publish it on podcasting channels. So you can just say it's both, means it's live also and it is editing and publishing also. It's combo.
Yeah, the question I'm asking is, when you were doing the podcast all by yourself, was there a time when you recorded an episode but realized that you forgot to press the record?
Mm, actually, I didn't forget to press the record, but actually, it didn't happen with guest, thank God. But my solo episode, I remember I did once, and there was the malfunctioning from the technical side. From there, it seems. The streaming software which I was using, they had some setting for the microphone, and I think I didn't check that setting because it was always default for me, so I never checked the setting. And so I did the full solo episode and nothing was recorded. But then since it was recording, so I said, okay, it was a practice run. So then I re-recorded it again.
Wow.
So it was not live and it was not with the guest. So it was not a big deal as such.
Yeah. You
It happens, huh? It happens. You forget to record it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially if it's with a guest, you now have to reach out to them and ask them to come back to have the conversation that they've had before.
No, no, that didn't happen.
Yeah. You're one of the extremely lucky persons, because for other podcasters I've interviewed, they've had their own share story of forgetting to record.
No, it never happened. When I went on somebody's podcast and up till now it didn't happen. Thank God.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when you started your podcast, the name you use for the podcast, New Beginning, has that always been the name, or have you had to rebrand to?
Oh, no, no, it was always the same. Yeah.
I do believe that the things we work on, they also work on us. So the question I want to ask now is, your podcast, how has your podcast helped you develop, improve, and over time, over the past 3 years?
Mm,
Do you need me to go over the question again?
yeah,
Okay.
because yeah.
So what I mean is, what are like the personal benefits in terms of your self improvement has the podcasting done for you? Like, how has the podcast helped you to improve personally, not just business wise, not just monetary aspects?
Yeah, means basically now I think about my audience, what my audience wants, and see now the first important thing that first important thing is I decided to talk properly, slow down because I have heavy accent and I tend to talk fast. And when I get excited, I talk really too fast, and then people don't understand anything. And people don't understand anything. So then I no see my podcast when I started that time also I had a fear. I didn't want to start podcast, but I started podcast for my audience, and now I talk also for my audience, and I just think about them. Am I talking slow enough? Whether they can listen to me, whether they can hear me, whether they can understand me, and the topics also I started from their feedback, and that is really amazing. Now I'm putting other people before me, so I'm serving them. I'm not serving my ego, and I think it is a great improvement in my personality because I had a really huge ego.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
I thought the
I thought I
connection
was
broke.
done. Yeah,
You were in the
yeah, I
middle of a
told you.
sentence and then it just went silent. So I was wondering what happened. You
Oh, no, 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 no. I sorry. I completed my sentence because I told you, right, that now I means basically I create content for my audience and I talk for my audience. I get feedback from my audience, and so means I'm serving them. I'm putting them before me. I'm not serving my ego. I'm serving my audience. And yeah, my sentence was done.
Yeah,
Sorry.
because the last thing I heard was
Yeah.
really, and I was like, okay, so hoping, and then I was like, I was looking at it, and on my end, everything looked fine. So I was like, what's going on? I was like, oh, maybe it's on your end. So you had to like say hello. You've since you've been podcasting, can you remember the first message or the first feedback you got from your listener? Wow.
First time I got message from my
Yeah,
listener.
the first message.
Oh,
What was it?
okay. I have really great stories with my podcast. I remember I was choosing guests who inspire solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and that was my criteria. Then I was somebody with non-profit. They contacted me and they asked me, "Can we come on your podcast?" I said, "See, this is my audience. So, is it okay with you?" She said, "Yeah, perfectly fine." So she came on my podcast, and she has a non-profit to build houses in Dominican Republic. And so then she I mean, she was a guest. She did a podcast. She told about her story, how she got started with her non-profit. And after a couple of days, she called me and she said, "I want to talk to you." I said, "Okay, let's talk." She said, the day your podcast got published, I somebody called me and they offered me $10,000 donations." And
Wow.
she said it never happened, but they said they heard, yeah, they heard me on your podcast, and they offered me $10,000 donations. And she said, "I'm so happy." And I said, "It never happened even on my podcast. This is the first story." Yeah,
Wow.
so I just love it.
Wow. Wow. That's, I mean, it goes to show that it's not necessarily about how large the people listening. It's more about, the depth of the people listening, how much value you're giving to them. And yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, oh, okay. Yeah. The I want to follow up on that question I asked earlier on, which is of all the messages or the comments, the kind of thank you messages we've gotten from your listeners, which one stands out particularly to you?
Nurse,
Yeah, your favorite.
I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful even for thank you message. I'm grateful even for constructive message because the constructive messages make me improve. They make me better. And thank you messages, actually, I don't say the one message is better than other. Every thank you message I'm grateful for. So
I see what you did there.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That was subtle. Yeah, yeah, I see. Okay. Now all through the 3 years you've been publishing, you've never like taken a break or like missed a schedule.
Missed schedule.
Yeah, or take a break for within that 3 years you've been publishing your podcast.
Yeah, whenever I'm on vacation, I don't do podcast because actually I'm on vacation for a long time. But sometimes I record like a 3 episodes in one day. So then then that actually covers when I go on vacation. Then still the publishing schedule still follows because I batch record and. So when I'm on vacation, I don't do podcasting.
Yeah, but does your podcast release episodes even though you're not podcasting? That's the question I want to know.
Oh yeah, because then they already have the recorded things, right? So and I give all the data and the information. So whenever, even though I'm on vacation, yeah, my team does publishing. Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow! It's nice to know that for 3 years you've been consistent with the podcast, and yeah, um, it's if I would what I'm attempting to do now is I could call your podcast a business podcast because it came out of the offshoots of the New Beginning, kind of like to help support
Oh yeah.
your audience even more.
So yeah, means basically it was a new beginning for me, and I really feel every service, every offer I create, it is a new beginning for a solopreneur, entrepreneur, or someone who is dreaming to start something new with their life, and that's why. But I have to keep on telling everybody the new is spelled NU, not NEW. So
Yeah, yeah,
every
yeah.
time I go live and all, I tell
I'm
them,
aware of that.
yeah.
Yeah, this is not the
Yeah.
first time I'm interviewing. So yeah, the
Yeah.
reason why I didn't even emphasize that is usually I would make those changes in the show notes, so the link and everything that people would see will be that's the new beginning, not the new. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
you talked about how you started this business and after you miraculously got healed from being bedridden. And for me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of wondering, like, of all the type of business you could have started, why the solopreneur, helping solopreneurs, and helping people create business and stuff like that? Why that? Why not something else? Why? Like, there are basically endless things you could basically do for people to help them and support them, but you chose this one. Why? What's so peculiar about this?
This is a really great question because there are so many places where you can impact this world in a positive way. This is not the only thing. Yeah, means, today is Earth Day. So even if you can take care of Earth, even if you volunteer and if you clean your surrounding, that is also a great task. So everything, anything could have been really good and noble task, no doubt about it. But in my case, what happened, I have been a solopreneur almost whole of my life. No, I don't call myself a solopreneur because I'm an entrepreneur and because I have a small team. I can say I'm a small business owner. But nobody understands a solopreneur. Only one solopreneur understands other solopreneur, neither their friends nor their family. Solopreneurs work really hard and they quit 40 hours of job and they start their business and they end up working 80 hours. They wear hundreds of hats. They are CEO, they are admin, they are everything in their business. And if they are working late at the night and if their spouse comes and asks, why are you working right now? They cannot tell the spouse, I'm doing this hard work so that you will have some options and choices in your life. They cannot tell that. And every weekend, For example, if your friends are partying and they want you to join them, you cannot join because you have an appointment, and you cannot explain it to them because they are not solopreneur. They don't understand. They say, "Hey, Saturday today, why are you working?" and all. So only one solopreneur understands other solopreneur. And as I told you before, many solopreneurs quit their dream before they launch their first product. So I just wanted to help solopreneur because I really feel there is just really not that much free help as such available for solopreneurs. And I have been a solopreneur almost whole of my life, and only one solopreneur understands other solopreneur. I know what challenges I have gone through. So I thought, okay, I will share my challenges. I will tell them how I succeeded, how I overcame my challenges, and they will learn from that, and they will be successful. So that was my calling. And I have other callings too because I love spirituality, and I love entrepreneurship. So now I'm writing books based on spirituality and entrepreneurship, but that again to help solopreneurs and entrepreneurs. So it all these two things in they're really close to my heart, spirituality and entrepreneurship. And anything that can combine these two things means I will always welcome in my life.
Yeah. So, what are the core pillars of content for the podcast? What pillars of content does the podcast cover?
Podcast actually is focused mainly for the digital entrepreneurs because I help people in the digital field. But the strategies which I share on podcast, my solo episodes especially, those are applicable for anyone. Those are anyone, even someone who has a brick and mortar business or physical business, those are applicable even for them. And when people come as a guest on my podcast, and I really don't have too much of so a restriction that okay, I want only people like this and that. No, if you have a story of struggle and success, and if you can inspire my audience, you are welcome to come on my podcast. So that is it.
Well, you mentioned that you have a YouTube channel for your podcast.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we're not. What's the word we want to use now? It's not like we care so much about numbers, but we would want to know about the numbers. How's the YouTube channel doing? What does it look like?
I have three YouTube channels actually. One for travel because I love to travel, and then I have two YouTube channels. One for business and other one for shorts, YouTube shorts. So the one YouTube channel which is I'm using for podcasting and yeah, business, that is actually eligible to monetize, but
Wow,
I'm still not monetizing.
wow!
Yeah, I'm not
Congratulations.
monetizing that. No, but I'm not monetizing that because personally I don't like ads if I'm watching any educational content. So then I thought if I don't like ads while watching educational content, why should I give ads to someone else? Because if you don't like anything else, something, you shouldn't give it to someone else also. So
Yeah.
then that is my idea.
Uh,
That's why I don't have
Can I
ads.
can I can
Yeah.
I cut in briefly?
Yeah.
Yeah, before probably like 5 years ago, that stand would have been nice, But YouTube they've updated their policies now. Whether you monetize or not, they will show ads on your video. But if you monetize, you just get to get your own cut of the
Yeah,
revenue.
that is what I heard. So,
Yeah,
yeah, you are right.
yeah,
You are absolutely right. That is what I heard
and
because I was telling somebody I will not monetize because I don't want to bother. Then, yeah, you are the second person who told me
yeah.
exactly the same thing. So, I think I should change my policy. You
Yeah.
are right. Thank
And
you.
and and the other thing is if you monetize, you get to control the way the ads will show and the type of ads that will show and like you can basically,
Oh,
tinker with the
yeah.
stuff and say,
Hey, thank you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So as much as possible, YouTube is going to make money from your video, whether you are monetized or not. So you might as well just, take your own cut from it. Whatever you use the money to do, that will be your own decision. But at least YouTube shouldn't be profiting
Mm-hmm.
from your videos without you getting anything. It's not just nice, Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's it. Wow, wow. It's nice that your channel is eligible for monetization. Like, yeah, I know that's not like the major way you monetize, but it's nice. I can only imagine the amount of audience you have because that means you have people that are watching your stuff, clicking your link and checking out the things you do.
Yeah. Means,
Wow. Um,
yeah.
Out of curiosity,
Just
okay. No,
okay.
no, no.
I'm
You
just
want
fumbled and okay.
what you
Uh,
said? You wanted to say something?
no, no, no. Go ahead.
Okay. Out of curiosity, what part of India are you from?
I'm from Mumbai.
Okay. What language do they speak in Mumbai? Like, what's the main language?
Main language, my mother tongue is Marathi, and then the national language is Hindi, and English is our third language.
Okay, your mother's language is Marathi.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
reason why I'm asking this is okay, my background is electrical electronics engineering. So when I was in school, there were some electronics and electrical courses that I would watch on YouTube, and there was this Indian lady that taught the courses in electrical electronics. She would explain some of the concepts and all that, and you sound just like her. And so every time you talk, I keep remembering, because this is how do I explain this now? In those times when I watch her video, it was times of struggle, because some of the courses that she'd explain, she'd teach, they were really difficult courses. So how do I explain? So someone that is explaining difficult courses, you just cannot forget their faces easily. And so every time, even the first time, the first time you came on the podcast, I was like, why does she sound like? I was like, no, she sounds very much like her. And this is not just okay, the accent, but I was like, maybe it could be. Yeah, yeah. Wow. Your podcast is not. I know it's meant to like help your listeners, right? But well, currently you have a team, and since you have a team, you're basically you're paying them. I would assume it's not charity work. Even people that do not for profit work, they get paid too.
Yeah, means of course it is not charity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why I asked that question is because of the follow-up question I want to ask, which is how does your podcast connect to your overall monetization? Because I'm guessing, I believe that for you to be doing this thing for 3 years consistently, of course, helping people is also nice. I'm guessing that it has kind of like helped your business. So how does it fit into the grand picture?
See, through the podcast, actually, I really meet quality people, and my offers, yeah, some of my offers are really means basically they are really high quality, and so I really meet great people through podcasting means, and that is why I really find the quality people, and I'm not talking only about my customers, but even some of the people for whom with whom I did podcasting, they became my mentor also in many areas because they taught me so many things, and I took their programs, and it happened vice versa. So, and we collaborate also means we are doing lots of common like a joint webinars and all. So collaboration is a really great strategy because you borrow somebody else's audience, and you don't need to use expensive strategies for your business like ads, and there are so many things. So it really helps. So collaborating with high quality, high caliber people, that is such a blessing because people who are podcasting, they are really high quality people, and so it's helping me in so many areas
Yeah.
surely.
The question I
Yeah.
want to ask now is, do you have a high ticket product?
Yeah, I have high ticket. See, again, high ticket, this is relative because there are some people they are selling $10,000, $100,000 worth of products, and my most expensive product is maybe like $2,000. So,
Okay, okay,
yeah, means yeah, I do have high ticket.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Because having a podcast and people listening to you and building trust, it makes it easy for people to just whip out their credit card and buy something of high ticket from you without thinking twice, because they already know, like, and trust you.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to know how the members of your team handle your podcast. Are they just focused on your podcast, or the podcasting is one of those things they do for you in your business?
Podcasting, what else it does for my business?
No, no, no. Your team, the members of your team, right? Are they
Oh,
focused
my
fully on
team,
the podcast, or is podcasting just one of the things they do for your business?
podcasting just one of it.
Okay, just
Yeah.
one of it. Okay, because I was going to ask. Okay, I'll still ask the question. how did you get them? Like, how did you hire them and stuff like that?
Oh, I hired it through agency because I was working with freelancers, and it was too much of pain because I had to train them and they didn't know nothing. And I said, I have to train them. I'm spending my time training you and still I have to pay you. So the freelancers actually from Upwork and Fiverr and all, they didn't work for me. So then I hired someone who is already trained from agency, and that is good for me.
Wow, wow. Was it
Yeah.
very expensive?
But I had to pay a lot of money for yeah, onboarding. Yeah.
Okay, like how much are we talking about? Just for so the audience can know what the cost could be.
But the onboarding for that was for each member was like $4,000 onboarding.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
that's that's huge.
and then I'm paying them monthly salary.
Okay. I don't know if I don't know what's the how do I put it now? Before I ask my question, I'm going to put a disclaimer quickly. I don't know if you are okay with sharing their salary, but if not, no problem. Uh, but I would love to like know how much you currently pay them.
The team which I hired now means it is better than Fiverr and Upwork, but still, still the team is like a marriage. Means you have to understand other person, and you have to understand their temperament and how they work and all, and you have to communicate properly. So even if I hire them from agencies, still there are problems, but then there are less problems than before. That's it. That I can say.
Yeah. And it makes it so such that they know what they're doing. And for me, I if I'm going to invest time training and teaching someone, as much as possible, that person should work for me, not a freelancer that's going to say, well, I'm not gonna, I don't think I can handle your work anymore, anytime, any day. And I'm like, but I just use like 5, 10, 20 hours to explain all the concepts to you and teach you how to do this stuff. Now you mean everything is just going to waste?
Why do you say that?
No, you earlier on you talked about you were working with freelancers and you had to explain a lot of concepts to them. And the thing with freelancers is that you don't have any contract. They're not working for you. They're basically just one off. They do the work for you, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So spending that
Mm-hmm.
amount of time training and teaching people, which there's nothing bad with teaching people, but if I'm going to spend time I am training and teaching someone to do a particular job, I would want that thing to be one of, not something I have to be doing maybe every time I see a freelancer to work for me.
What is your experience with freelancers?
Uh, I don't do freelancers. I don't do freelancers.
Then,
I don't do, I
do you have a team?
yeah, I have a team.
Do you have a?
Yeah, just 2 persons.
And how did you hire your team?
Funny thing is, I posted on social platforms and I got applications and I screened them. I did the screening, the recruiting, and everything myself. And yeah,
Okay, so everything is smoothly running for you.
yeah. But I spent a lot of time. That 4 grand you spent for the agency, right? If I had that 4 grand, I would have just spent that money. But I spent a lot of time to teach, to explain, to look at a lot of concepts and all that. And yeah, it's been worth it though for me. Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
yeah, it's been worth it for me though. Yeah, but yeah, and it all makes sense for you because you have a business you're running, and there are so many moving parts to your business that sometimes you just need to sit down and look at the moving parts and make some strategic decisions. But you can't do that when you are the podcast producer. You need to edit the podcast you recorded. When will you have time to sit down and say, okay, what are some things I should prioritize? What are some strategic decisions and things I should take to move the business forward? You can't have that time to do those things if you are always in the business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah. Well, this the fun. I think yeah. One of the things, it's amazing that we're talking about teams and hiring people because one of the recent podcast episode I did for my other podcast, which you first came on. I think yeah. It was Wisdom Journey. Yeah. That was the podcast. Yeah. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I I was interviewing someone and we are talking about how to build a team and how to get people to come on your to help you as a solopreneur, a content creator, right? Such that you don't
Mm-hmm.
have to. you don't have to keep micromanaging them and spending so much time working. Like, you understand, funny thing is that, managing people is actually work on its own. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that was the chat, and it was a nice chat though. But I'm just like, what comes up now is that we're talking about teams, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. um
Yeah. So how did you get started with podcast?
I've been podcasting now for like, how many years now? For like, let's say 6, 7 years. Yeah, but now this podcast I'm doing now is like the one I've been consistent. The other one I was just using to learn the craft, learn the trade, testing the waters, and this one is the one I'm consistent with right now. That's the wisdom journey in my podcast story, and yeah,
Oh, that is
yeah,
good.
yeah. I love the. I, I think there's
Uh-huh.
something personal with podcasting. The fact that someone has to listen to you on their eardrums for maybe 20 to 30 minutes, there's just this focus which is different from every other forms of
Mm-hmm.
content. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
the,
Yeah.
wow, the guest is interviewing the host. Yeah. Okay. You we've talked about your first message, and you shared the story of how a guest came on your podcast and they got a very large sum of donation for their charity, is it non-profit or organization. The question I want to ask you now is, when you started, how long did it take for you to like for you to start feeling like a real podcaster?
Oh, I never thought of real or beginner or advanced podcaster. I'm just a podcaster. I don't have that adjectives, but I don't know. How do you define a real podcaster?
Yeah, how do I explain this when you start a business the first time, at first it looks like you don't really know what you're doing. You're just playing around and doing stuff. And then for some persons, okay, I'll give an example. You teach people how to to do digital business and make money online. Isn't that's what you do, right? Okay.
Yeah.
If let's say someone starts a business making money online, there's a particular amount they will get where everything just dawns on them that, wow, this stuff is legit. This Now, it doesn't have to be money. It could be depending on the context. But if you are doing a business, let's say the day they make their first $1, they're like, wow, so I can make dollars online. I was like, yeah, like, wow. And and then it's just their reality just changes. The way they perceive things just changes. Their identity just shifts and changes. Everything just changes. And the same thing with podcasting. For some people, it takes for them is maybe the day they get their first 100 listeners. For some, it might be their first sponsor. For some, it might be the first fan message they get from their audience thanking them or stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, what did the shift for you?
See, means I really didn't feel any shift as such because I'm just enjoying the journey. Yeah, and never felt like a beginner podcaster or enhanced or real podcaster and all. I'm just podcasting. I'm just having fun. I'm adding value to people's lives. And yeah, means what kind of shift are you talking about?
Yeah, I get it. You are, how do I put it now? You are lucky and privileged. You said earlier on that when you started your podcast, you started in a day. Like, you didn't you weren't you didn't have to overthink it. That itself is one of the luxury that not everybody gets to enjoy when it comes to starting a podcast.
I didn't get it. What do you want to say?
Oh, okay. Uh,
No, no, no. Tell me again because
yeah,
I'm really not getting it.
yeah. I understand. How do I explain it to you now? It's not like you can't get it or understand it. It's just that it's you never experienced it, so you don't.
Yeah,
So it's not like you don't understand what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying, but you just did not experience it. So
yeah,
so you cannot relate with what I'm saying.
yeah. You are right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you are absolutely
yeah,
right.
but in terms of you coach students, right? You coach clients for digital business. Let me just use that to describe what you do. I know that's not like a complete
Yeah,
description.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
for most of your clients, for some of them that have never earned a dollar online or anything online, right? When they start, they're actually business people and everything. But the moment and it doesn't have to, in this context is money, but it doesn't always have to be money. But the moment they, let's say the moment they sleep, and maybe when they wake up they realize that one of their phone and their products just made a sale while they were asleep, and it could be maybe $20 or $50. It doesn't really matter the price, and they're like, wow, so this money is in my account, I just sold this stuff and somebody just bought my product. Wow, so this stuff, this is the legit, this is a business that I can do. It's, they knew before, but now that this stuff happened, it's they become a kind of like a believer, something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
understand what I'm trying to like drive at?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. You said you started your blog first, and then you added a podcast to it. How's the blog doing now?
My blogs are doing good actually, but blog can there is a thing like previously my blogs were on WordPress,
Yeah.
and WordPress SEO is better, and there I was getting automatically organic traffic,
Yeah.
and then I changed my platform,
To which
and
platform?
the new platform, it is all in one platform, and that actually platform doesn't give as good SEO as
What's
WordPress.
the name of this platform, so that
So
I'll be aware of it in the future?
you see, there are so many all-in-one platform. I think all these all-in-one platforms, they have the uh, same limitation. So all-in-one platforms like Kajabi and Go High Level, or I'm using System.io, or even Keep,
Oh,
Infosource.
oh,
So
system.
all these platforms, they have, yeah.
Yeah,
So but they have the similar limitation, means they cannot uh, do as good SEO
yeah.
as
WordPress.
good SEO as a WordPress.
Yeah.
WordPress is really good for SEO.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we should all understand that WordPress started as a blogging, what they call it now, CMS, content management system. So that's like the core. Even though it can
Yeah,
do almost everything now, that's where it started from. So it's most of its features, they fulfill that core need, for blogging.
yeah,
Now,
and there are.
no,
Mhm,
no,
go
no,
ahead.
no, finish, complete your statement.
No, no, no. You were talking something. I was interjecting you. So
Okay,
you go ahead. Sorry.
okay. Um, now that you've moved on, what's the traffic like for this for the blog currently now?
Yeah, the block traffic has dropped down, but even I think maybe even I'm not doing blogging as much as I used to do before. So it is, I think, the platform and even my blogging. So I think it is the combined effect. Yeah.
So your focus is on podcasting and YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Wow. And so I guess the question I want to ask is how I don't know if that's an analytics that you have, but how much people from your YouTube and podcast go to your website?
Yeah, I need to actually track those numbers. I need to track the analytics because I have actually hired my previous SEO team was not that great. I hired a new SEO team, and they just finished 2 months. So they are going to give me the reports now. So I will get to know the numbers. And yeah, right now I'm not following the analytics, means I have a different SEO team, they are following the analytics. So I think I have a meeting tomorrow, so I'll know the numbers tomorrow. You are right,
Okay.
I don't have the
Yeah,
numbers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because what I'm saying is that your podcast is how do I put it now? In a business which you run, your podcasting is like one of the major lead generation channels. If I don't know if I'm correct, I'm just assuming.
Yeah,
Okay, so
that has to be,
yeah,
yes,
so
you are right.
so so if
Yeah.
it's the major lead generation channel, all the sales that you do, they happen on your website. People buying products, people subscribing for things, they all happen on your website.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you want to like
You are
you
right.
want to be
No, you are
you
absolutely
want to be
right. Yeah.
measuring how many people come on the website, how many people convert, how many people subscribe for my email list. I don't know if you have an email list.
I have an email list.
Okay, so things like that to see how everything is connecting, so that you can know how to
Yeah.
optimize, where you can adjust things and see what's working and what's not working.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you are right.
I'm
Yeah.
really really happy that you have a YouTube channel that is monetized, and yeah.
You also have YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, I do have a YouTube channel, but it's not yet monetized.
That's okay. Everyone starts somewhere. What is the big deal? Means,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but YouTube is apart from getting monetized, YouTube is like a very large bringer of leads and traffic for if you, irrespective of whether you have 1,000 subscribers or not, as long as you are making really good
I know.
videos.
Actually, some people have really great traction from YouTube.
Yeah,
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 yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story on the podcast. I I I
yeah.
I
Thank you.
really.
And sorry, I really didn't have many funny stories. Means basically like someone forgot to record and all those.
No,
I
no, no,
don't
no, no.
have
It's
those.
the whole idea is, you see the name of the podcast. It took me some, for as simple as the name of that podcast is. I actually have like 20 different names I could have used for the podcast, but I was like, this is the whole idea of the podcast, is for the host to share. That's okay for you, which is the guest, which is a host, to share their own podcast story. That's why it's called my podcast story. So it's your story, and that's it. It doesn't matter if it's not like the other guest story. It's yours, and it inspired me, and I know it will inspire other podcasters too.
Thank you. I really
Yeah, yeah.
appreciate. Thank you.
Wow, I'm beginning to feel that we've become podcast besties. Now
Okay.
that I've interviewed you for twice now. Probably I might interview for the third one. I don't know, because I have a third podcast, but I don't know. I'm just saying. But I've your voice has been printed on my mind. So once I hear your voice, I was like, Sue, how you doing? Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Where can listeners learn more about you, connect with you, check out your podcast?
Oh, they can look at newbeginning.com, and so even my podcast is New Beginning Inspiration for You, and again, new is spelled NU beginning, and my YouTube channel is also New Beginning, and my other YouTube channel is Solopreneurs New Beginning. So everywhere there is a New Beginning you will find, and LinkedIn also promotes podcast a lot, so you can even find on LinkedIn my podcasting episodes, and of course Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and my website. And I'm actually designing one more website under my name, soupats.com, and there I am going to list my episodes where I have been a guest. Now, for example, your episode that I will embed on my soupats.com, because my New Beginning, where I host and my solo episodes will be there, but soupats.com will have the episodes where I have been a guest.
Wow,
So you can,
that's
that site is coming up soon.
yeah,
So you can look at newbeginning.com and
yeah.
soupats.com.
Maybe by when the site is ready, your episodes would have been released for the two podcasts, and that would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks to you.
Yeah, that's it for today's episode of my podcast story. I am Wisdom Okonkwo, and I hope this conversation sparked new ideas and gave you a deeper look into the heart of podcasting. If you've loved this episode, consider supporting the show by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/wisdomhq. Every bit helps keep the stories going. And hey, don't forget to follow, rate, and share this podcast with another podcaster or creator who would find it helpful. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode.